what's up, my friend? Are you a small business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you're in the right place. Welcome to the War Plan Briefing. My name is Joshua Latimer. What's your name? Type it in the thing. I want to know who you are. Are you trying to change the world? Are you trying to raise children that change the world? Are you trying to build wealth so you can become radically generous? I hope you are. That we need more people like you doing that. And hopefully this video will help make the process of that easier for you. Because I don't want you to suffer as much as I did. I don't have all the answers, but I've learned certain things building and selling 4 companies that can probably help a lot of you. And that's my goal for the video. The title of the video today is Brain Chains Part 2, the curious topic of money. And, you know, if you didn't watch it, there's a video right before this one that should have been posted. Part 1, we talked about the history and mystery of time, you know, the origin of time and how valuable time is, and how if we misunderstand that as business owners, it can cause time to elapse and we can really set ourselves back and cause ourselves to not succeed like God wants us to and reach our full potential. Today, we're going to talk about money itself, because money is a fascinating topic. In fact, did you know there's a difference between currency and money? Did you know that people that try to get money are usually poor? Did you know that providing value makes money come back to you automatically? You know, think of it like this. Money is really the natural byproduct of other stuff that's done. And if your activities every day are trying to get money, you're doing it in a very limited, constrained way. You see, money happens. It's like sawdust. When you chop a tree down, sawdust is automatically created. Money is automatically created when you do other things. But anyway, back to money versus currency. One of the things we teach our kids is that money, the definition we teach our children for money, is that money is something that has intrinsic value, that is not man-made, and it's used to trade for goods and services. Think things like gold, things like silver, even things like cattle, I guess, right? There's certain things that God made that we trade for goods and services. That's what money is. Did you know in the Bible in Genesis that it says that there was gold in the Garden of Eden? How weird is that? You know, there's only 2 people there. There's nothing to buy, nothing to sell. There's not like an economy or a market, but gold was there from the beginning, and God called it good. Why would he do that? You think it's on there as a typo? You think God put it in the Bible as an accident? No, it's because money is good, okay? The love of money is the root of all kinds of evil, but money itself is good. A lot of small business owners, the big problem they have is they just won't admit that they want more of it. And if you won't admit that you want more of it, how can you build a plan and optimize that plan to get more of it? The reality is, if you want to be debt-free, if you want to pay cash for your kids' college education, if you want to be able to throw a great wedding for your daughters, if you want to be able to travel more or get that second house for when you retire, if you want to feed the orphans and build hospitals and drill wells in Africa, whatever it is that you say that you want, all of those things are one thing. Money. You need more money. You need more money to do all those things I just said, right? You want to be philanthropic, but you ain't got no resources. How are you going to pour out of your cup if your cup isn't overflowing, right? So we need you to put the oxygen mask on yourself, metaphorically, get wealthy, get into momentum, understand these things so that you can distribute and sow into the lives of the people around you at a bigger and bigger level. Now, here's something that's crazy. And I actually made a tweet. Yeah, I have a Twitter with 2 followers. True story. 2 followers. I think 3 followers. I don't understand Twitter, but I did do a tweet. And here's what I said. I said, I noticed that wealthy people don't call money money. Okay? They don't call money money. Poor people call money money, but wealthy people, the common vernacular they use to describe money is the word capital. Capital. I'm sure you've heard that word as a small business owner, right? We need more capital. I need to secure capital. But in general, generally speaking, capital is a phrase used by people with resources, generally speaking. I think it's fascinating. And so when I think about the difference between money and capital, I think as money is something that you try to get so you can consume, where capital is something you try to secure so you can deploy, right? There's a big difference there. This is a whole thing that could be unpacked, right? But really, we basically have 2 choices of things to do, 2 categories of things we can do with any of the money or capital that we have. And it's either consume it or produce with it. We either just use it and it goes away, or we deploy it, invest it to get a harvest from it. Now, I think what people don't realize is that you're already an investor right now. And a lot of small business owners that are struggling say, well, someday I'm going to become an investor. No, baby, you're an investor right now. Watching this video is a form of investment. In fact, you're investing your time, which is the most valuable, precious thing in your whole world to learn, to level up your skill sets or your mindsets or a little bit, right? Or your network a little bit. That's an investment. Yes, you can use money as an investment, but we're all investors all the time. The way we talk to ourselves, the way we think, the books that we read or don't read, we're making good or bad investments all the time. We're either being productive and sowing seed and thinking about the long-term game, or we're in consumption mode, we're in instant gratification mode, and that's what happens with our money. The other thing that's interesting about money is that money is a seed, okay? There's so many biblical principles in this, okay? But money is literally a seed. The Bible talks about sowing seed, right? That there's a harvest. There's a parable of the talents where the three people get different amounts of like money and they have to go multiply it. And if they don't multiply it, the owner's super mad, right? This is a picture of God. He wants the seed that he planted in you to multiply, expand, and grow. Whatever your purpose and your destiny is. And it may or may not have anything to do with your little service company or your local business. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're in this season of life to learn the discipline, to understand your financial statement and your P&L so that you can set the table for the next thing, the real thing, where your seed is going to turn into some huge harvest. I don't know, but money itself is like a seed. It behaves like a seed. And if you use it correctly, if you treat it as capital to go become a producer for you, you're going to send money out into the world and it will come back to you with friends. That's something Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank always says. He's like, I want to invest my money, but I want it to come back to me with friends, right? So your money is that thing. It's a seed, right? It's a seed. Now, I'm going to read you a quote that's super freaking epic, okay? You can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you cannot count the number of apples in a seed. You ever think about that? That's like a brain breaker thing for me personally, is understanding that, yes, if I'm going to eat an apple, if I'm going to consume it, I can open up that apple and see that there's 6 apple seeds inside the apple. But what I can't tell, if I take one of the seeds out, is how many apples could this one tiny seed be capable of producing? That's what your money is like. That's what your time is like. That's what your business is like. And so if you want to think like a wealthy person and break the brain chains, okay? If you want to set yourself free, you need to start viewing yourself right now as already being an investor, because it's true. I tell people sometimes that your business doesn't need systems. It already has them. It just needs better systems, right? You don't need to become an investor. You already are one. You just need to start making better investments, okay? We already have systems. If you don't follow up with your customers, you have a zero-touch follow-up system. It's just a bad system, right? If you talk to yourself bad in the mirror and you shame yourself and you hate yourself, that's just a bad self-love system. It's a self-hate system. It's not going to provide a crop for you. It's not going to grow and produce, right? These little seeds, whether it's your money or your time or your words, because words are seeds too. If you want to think like a high achiever or someone that's wealthy, you need to view every little resource you have, whether it's the cash, the labor, the capital, the influence you have, the leadership ability that you have, anything. These are all seeds and they need to be planted so they can produce a yield. That's what God made you for. That's what I want for you. And things can change so freaking fast. If you didn't watch the first video yet, go back and watch that, talking about time and how to view time. And there's going to be another video, part 3 after this, talking about the 3 types of relationships we all have and which ones you should focus on. It's called comrades, constituents, and confidants. It's going to be super dope. I'm going to make that video next. And let me know where you're from. Let me know what kind of business you have in the comments. Let me know what's going on. What are you thinking as I say this? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Well, we know I'm a little crazy, but what are you thinking as you consume content like this? Why are you watching it? Why are you still here right now? If you hear me ask you that and you don't comment, why? Why don't you comment? Why don't you engage? What are you scared of, right? What do you need? What's missing for you that could get you to the next level? I would love to hear it, to see if I can help and add value. And until next time, I'll see you in part 3. Bye.